Cartoons? Did someone mention cartoons? Well, the long-awaited 1 terabyte Volume 1 of cartoons is now available on a limited basis. If you have children or grandchildren, this is the ultimate gift. I gave this to my grandchildren and they love it. Over 500 cartoon shows, snippets, animations, claymations, and puppets. It's not perfect, but you cannot get this size of a collection anywhere else. Only here at OldTimeRadioDVD.com. Don't forget all of our other collections. You have until August the 1st. Don't waste time. Get them while you can at OldTimeRadioDVD.com.
That's all, folks.
It's the Roy Rogers Show.
Happy trails to you. It's nice to meet again. Happy trails to you until the journey's end.
Post Sugar Crisp, the cereal treat that's fun to eat, brings you the Roy Rogers Show, transcribed on the Double R Bar Ranch, with Pat Brady and the Queen of the West, Day 11.
Happy trails to you. Time to ride again.
And here he is, in person, the King of the Cowboys, Roy Rogers.
Well, howdy, folks. Here's my good word for today. It's about a honey of a new cereal, Post Sugar Crisp. And it's my hunch you'll like it just as much as we do out here at the Double R Bar Ranch. You see, Post Sugar Crisp is just downright good eating. And it's good so many different ways. Try it real soon, won't you? Well, let's see about today's story, shall we?
Almost since the West was first settled, there have been range wars between small farmers who came to till the land. Nesters, they're called, and cattlemen who demand the land be used only for grazing their herds. Until now, Paradise Valley has been free of such trouble, but during the last few years, more and more nesters have settled one rich portion near the foothills, and ill feelings are rising. A range war seems imminent.
Hold on here, neighbors. Now, we won't be able to hold our own in a range war against the ranchers unless we can agree among ourselves. Now, you might remember this. We've got to stick together because we're nesters. Nobody's going to fight for us. Just a minute now. Quiet down, boys. Before we go any further, there's one man here who's not one of us. He doesn't belong at our meeting.
Well, it sounds as if you're referring to me, Glenn, but I know you don't.
Yes, sir, I am referring to you, Mr. Fisher.
Well, now, you can't mean that. I am heart and soul with you nesters.
Fisher, we've listened to you tell where your heart and soul is for longer than 6 months. We're awful sick of it. You're just another common, ordinary promoter who sides with anyone who'll butter his bread. And we know it. You sold us our land. You guaranteed we'd have no trouble with the ranchers. They'd welcome us, you said.
Boys, now give me a chance to talk. I have a right to defend myself.
Not here you haven't, Fisher. We're asking you to get out, and get out now.
But I am with you, nesters, heart and soul.
We're asking you to get out, Fisher.
Very well. If that's the way it is, that's the way it is. I hope when you're hard-pressed, you'll remember that I wanted to be your ally.
Well, let's get on with our meeting, boys.
John, what are you doing here? I told you...
I guess I ain't as simple as you thought, Mr. Fisher.
I told you to sneak in and listen to what went on at the ranchers' meeting. I said I'd take care of this nesters meeting.
Yep, I know, but I went to the ranchers' meeting, and I even cornered a couple of them before the meeting, and I pretended I knew there was oil on their land and tried to get me and my doodlebug a job locating it. But that didn't cut no ice. When the meeting started, they kicked me right out. Yeah, the joke's on you, Mr. Fisher. You thought everybody figured me to be a harmless old coot and had let me stay, but they didn't.
My plan didn't work with these nesters either.
Well, we'll just have to keep working. Where's your truck?
Down at the end of the lane. I didn't want anybody to hear it and see me meeting you.
You go down there and wait. I'll get on my horse and meet you.
Yeah, then what?
We'll keep this war going. That's the important thing, to keep the war going, so the ranchers and the nesters don't have a chance to get together in a friendly meeting. They'd be apt to settle their differences, and I can't afford that.
Clear, John.
Yep, you can come out. Ain't even a speck on the horizon.
Fine. You wait for me.
If you go in up to Tom Hill's place, he ain't home now. He's at the meeting with the ranchers, remember? He's a leader, sort of.
I remember. And I also remember Tom bought a big supply of dynamite to blast a road through the pass. It's stored in his machine shed.
The night sky is torn with the sound and flames of the explosion. The building and all the machinery in it are demolished. Tom Hill, the owner, is also the leader of the ranchers. And to him, this is obviously more work of the nesters. The only question now is, how soon can he destroy every nester in the valley? Morning comes. The sheriff hurries along the street, up to the Eureka restaurant.
Roy, I'm glad you're here.
Hi, Sheriff.
Hi, Sheriff.
I need help, and I need it fast.
Thinking about that accident out at Tom Hill's place?
The ranchers are out there, and they're organizing to raid the nesters.
I figured it'd be something like that.
Yes, we were just talking about it.
Where's Pat Dale?
He's out back, working on his Jeep, Nellie Bell, I suppose.
Better get him. You better ride along, too, Dale.
I can't say as I blame the ranchers for feeling as they do, but there's no evidence whatsoever that the nesters did this.
Well, even if there was, you can't have people taking the law into their own hands. Pat, come on, we're riding.
Well, can you wait a minute, Roy? I'm putting a set of double-decker triple sonic spark plugs on Nellie Bell.
Forget the spark plugs. If Nellie Bell won't run, then grab a horse. Bullet, come on, boy. We'll need all the help we can get. Things do look serious here at that, Sheriff.
Yeah, stand easy, Nellie Bell. Don't be scared, old girl.
What happens now, Roy?
Well, let's talk to Tom first.
Just go easy, that's all. These men are on edge.
Hi, Tom. Sorry to hear about what happened.
And I'm sorrier than you are. I'd hoped we could get together with the nesters and work things out. But it looks as though they want to play rough.
Well, the sheriff said there's no evidence to indicate the nesters had anything to do with this.
No evidence?
Quiet, Bullet.
Tom, you're a reasonable man. You don't want bloodshed any more than I do.
No, but
And I don't want to see ranch property destroyed any more than you do.
So what about it?
I'd like you fellas to give us a half a day to scout around and see what we can dig up.
Well, that's okay with me if it is with you boys. But when the half day is up, we're going after them. Even if you haven't found anything.
Pat, we're riding.
Okay, Roy. Pat, you take Bullet in Nellie Bell.
You bet.
Roy, I'll stick here. Keep on looking.
That's a good idea, Sheriff.
Where to now, Roy? The Nesters' territory?
Yeah. But I want to stop in town on the way and ask the merchants to quit selling guns and ammunition until this is over.
Roy?
Oh, howdy, John. I didn't see you.
Oh, I travel all over, locating oil fields with my doodlebug, you know. Did I hear you say you was heading for town?
Well, yes.
I can take you in my truck if you want. It's faster than a horse.
Not faster than Trigger.
And if Roy ever gives up Trigger for an auto, he'll ride Nellie Bell.
Now, Pat.
Thanks, just...
The idea asking you to ride in a catastrophe like he drives...
He's headed out to see the nesters, all right, Mr. Fisher, but he's going into town first.
You hop in your truck and get to Glenn DeBonner's place before Roy does. Tell DeBonner that Rogers wants to lead the nesters into a trap where the ranchers will take them.
Yeah, sure. And that way we'll keep the war going, won't we, Mr. Fisher?
Well, let's get to work and talk to everybody that sells ammunition.
In a hurry. I'd like to get out to the Nesters' settlement as quick as we can.
Hey, Roy, could I stay here in town and finish putting on them double-deck triple sonic spark plugs on Nellie Bell?
What in the world is double-deck triple sonic spark plugs?
You mean to say you don't know about them?
I'm afraid I don't.
Why, they're the latest invention. Going to put oil companies right out of business.
Roy, isn't that one of the Nesters coming down the street?
Where? Yeah, Glenn DeBona. He's their leader, from what I understand.
imagine anybody not knowing about double-decker, triple sonic spark plugs.
Say, this may save us a trip out to see the nesters.
It might. Howdy, Mr. DeBona.
Howdy. You're Roy Rogers, aren't you?
Yeah.
And Dale Evans.
Yeah, and I'm double-deck I'm Patrick Aloysius Brady.
We were just on our way out to see you, Mr. DeBona.
I didn't suppose a rancher would dare enter our territory these days. And you are a rancher, aren't you, Rogers?
Well, I'm the kind of a rancher who believes there's room for everybody in Paradise Valley.
We believed that, too, before you ranchers shut off the water and our crops dried up.
Well, the way I understand it, the water was shut off because nesters were butchering the ranchers' cattle.
There must be some way of coming to an understanding.
For your information, I've got plenty of ammunition for me and my neighbors. We'll come to an understanding, all right. Most likely before the sun is set tonight.
I'd like to settle this without any gunplay. Would you mind if we ride out with you and talk to your neighbors?
Why, no, not at all. Of course, as long as you want to settle this without guns, you leave yours here.
Well, we can drop them off at my cafe, Roy.
And that dog, too.
Sure. When will you be ready to leave?
Right now.
Okay. Walk back to the hitching rail with us. We'll get our horses. Pat, will you take care of Bullet? We want to show Mr. DeBona and his neighbors that we do come as friends.
All right, get off your horses.
You were sure right when you said your neighbors would all be here, Mr. DeBona.
They look as though they're on the warpath, too.
Steady, Nellie Bell. Nobody's going to hurt you.
This way, Rogers.
All right, fine. Come on, Dale, Pat. Hey, maybe you'd better explain why we're here, Mr. DeBona, in case one of your neighbors gets any wrong ideas.
I'll take care of things.
Roy, are you sure everything's all right here?
I hope so.
Right here. Well, here they are, folks. What John Gollick told us was right. And they were mighty anxious to come on out, especially Rogers.
Hey, just a second, Mr. DeBona. I don't get this.
Maybe you don't, but we do.
Roy, this is a trap.
We came out to see if we couldn't make peace.
Don't give us that stuff, Rogers. You came out here to see if you couldn't arrange a meeting between us and your rancher friends.
Well, that's exactly it.
And when we get to the meeting, your rancher friends intend to overpower and run us out of the valley.
Where did you get any such crooked ideas
We can
there?
prove it. John Garlick is here. Come on, John. Face up to Rogers. Tell him what you told us.
Well, now,
Well, come on, John. What have you got to say?
Tell him, John. Hurry up.
Well...
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, well, I get around quite a lot on account of my doodle bug. It locates oil fields.
Cut it short. Get to the point.
The point is, the ranchers asked Roy to come to you and arrange a meeting over in the ranchers' territory. When you folks got there, the ranchers was going to ride in and wipe out the whole bunch.
Why, you lying, no-good lizard.
Pat.
They made their move. Let's take them.
Dale, get out of here. Pat, do your best, boy.
Well, this adventure's mighty exciting, hey, listeners? And here's something every bit as exciting. The new Roy Rogers King of the Cowboys pop-out trading cards, offered you by Post Cereals, free of extra cost. There are 36 different pictures in this wonderful series. Real-life pictures of Roy, Dale, Trigger, Bullet, and Pat in exciting action. And here's why these cards are so extra special. You see, the main part of each picture pops right out, easy as you please. You have lifelike two-dimensional figures that stand up by themselves. Great for decorating your room or club headquarters. And don't forget, you send no box tops, no money. These Roy Rogers cards are free of extra cost. At your grocer's, just look for the trading card packages of these famous Post cereals. Crinkles, Raisin Bran, Grape Nuts Flakes, Bran Flakes, Sugar Crisp, and Post Toasties. Each package brings you one of these wonderful cards. Imagine the terrific display you'll have with all 36. So hurry. Be the first in your gang to get your Roy Rogers King of the Cowboys pop-out trading cards. Get a good supply of your favorite Post cereals tomorrow and start collecting and swapping your Roy Rogers cards right away.
John Gollick, the self-appointed oil expert of Paradise Valley, faced by the nesters and afraid of them, lies about why Roy is here. saying Roy intended leading the Nesters into a trap where the